Welcome to Bats, Balls, and Breaking Zones. Today is our host, Janusha Nair. I'm Andrew Smith, and we're also joined by our star guests, Tyler Goodburn and Dallas. How are you guys doing?
Hey,
What's up? How you going? Good yourselves, eh?
very well,
Yeah,
thanks.
not bad.
So today, Andrew, we said we're going to be talking about the F1 driver market. This week we had a lot of news. Carlos Sainz moving to Ferrari following Vettel and Ferrari announcing they aren't continuing their contract, and then Ricciardo also moving to McLaren. So what are your guys' thoughts on those two moves firstly?
Oh, I'll hit it off. Firstly, Ferrari dropping Vettel finally. I think we've all been calling for this for a while. Like, the dude's good. I back him. I enjoyed him when he was at Red Bull. I think he's done okay at Ferrari. I sort of built him up, but he just hasn't been the Vettel of old. You know, it's definitely been missing. Especially now with Charles. He's obviously Ferrari's number one. So he wasn't going to be favored. There was just, and to see him just sort of clawing, trying to be good again, it's sad. I don't know. I think he should just leave, just retire gracefully. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I mean, I don't know if it's so much about Vettel not being too good. I just believe that, we've seen how bad Ferrari have been, the team itself. It's not really their drivers. But I do believe it is time that Vettel and Ferrari part ways, because it's been a very long time since anything's worked out for Vettel since leaving Red Bull. So what is sad, though, is he might even be retiring, not even joining another team. That's, I think, one of the problems here.
For me, I think that as much as I love Ferrari and I love Sebastian Vettel, I think it's good that it wasn't doing his career any good. And I think that if you join any other team, you would win. It takes a special type of driver to win with Ferrari. But I don't think Vettel was their man. However, what's really making me sad is that he's going to retire, because where else would he go? I think that he's went all in, and he's decided that if he doesn't get a Merc drive, it's all or nothing. But I mean, why would Mercedes take him? It makes no sense, and no one else is going to take him. So I think it's over. I think his career is over, and it's just really a 4-time world champion with over 50 wins, and that's how he ends his motorsport career. It's just,
yeah, that's very sad.
It's too much.
Do you think he was going for a Merc drive? Do you think he would have liked that? Do you think Hamilton would have sort of accepted that, I guess?
I don't think it suits anyone. I don't think it suits Hamilton, Vettel, or Merc. Like, it just doesn't make sense for anyone.
It'd be interesting.
It would be great to watch, but it seems unlikely that will ever happen.
The teams protect themselves too much to let two drivers, compete in one team. They're worried about the risks more than the rewards, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, we've seen it in the past, right? When the team doesn't have a clear number one, or a driver doesn't take it away. So it's like in 2007, as much as I love Kimi Räikkönen, if it wasn't for Mercedes having two great drivers, he wouldn't have won the championship, because they were taking points away from each other. So if you have that, you open the door for other drivers to get points and to win races.
Yeah, I think it only works in a situation like Mercedes were in 2014 to 16, where no other team was close to them, so they could afford to have the battle. But once another team's competing, I don't think you can afford to do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day now, we all want to see Vettel in Formula One, but he will be one of those champions who are just there just to race. They're not there to win. They won't be able to win if they stayed in, purely because there's no teams available for them to race.
Vettel to Haas, boys. Vettel to Haas.
Vettel to Haas.
Grosjean's gone.
Yeah.
I would agree with that, though. That would be nice. But yeah, he wouldn't win anymore.
And you got a German team principal. It'll work.
Could you just imagine Gunther with Sebastian Vettel?
Oh Lord!
The team radio.
That wouldn't be good. That's not a good pairing.
Shouting, they'll just be shouting at each other. It would be quite funny.
And I also think that if he joined Magnussen at Haas, that would be bad. Like a Sebastian Vettel and Kevin Magnussen driver pairing would not work.
Oh yeah, they'll kill
That
each other.
wouldn't be my first pick at all. That's a recipe for disaster.
But it would be like watching a dumpster fire. It would be terrible, but it'd be so interesting to watch.
It's just,
All I want to
entertainment.
see is Lewis and Saber's teammates. I won't lie. I'll say it. It will never happen, but I would like.
Okay, but like Seb's left Ferrari. Do you think Sainz is the right guy for Ferrari?
Yes and no. I mean, I think he's proven that he can step up to a big team like Ferrari. And I think literally it was either between Ricciardo, Sainz. Because I mean, who else, in your guys' opinion, has really stepped up to be able to replace Vettel at Ferrari? Sainz would probably be the first name that came to mind. So I think it is the right decision. They had to make a quick decision because Vettel made a quick decision on his half. So I think it's the right one.
I don't think that Seb made a quick decision, but yeah, for me it was always between three guys. It was Ricciardo, Sainz, or Giovinazzi. For me, Ricciardo was too quick to be a second driver. For me, he's a first driver. Then Giovinazzi is the perfect second driver, but he's so slow that I don't think he would be able to finish the rest of in front of the rest of the pack. So
Too many mistakes as well. Yeah, too many mistakes.
So Sainz, I think Sainz was the best option out of those three. But there were I think there were actually many other drivers they could have picked. Hulkenberg, Janushin wanted Hulkenberg. I think Hulkenberg would have actually been perfect. I agree with Janushin. It would have been perfect Hulkenberg because he's consistent enough to be a good second driver, but he'll never challenge Charles. So
I
he
just
would
want
just
Hulkenberg to
waste
get
his
a
life
podium.
away with
I
third
just
on
want
the
him to get a
podium.
podium. Just get a podium. That's all I want. Ferrari will give him that. So let him just have that one moment where he gets to stand at the podium and we can move on, right? Just a 1-year contract and that's it.
Yeah. Where you can
And
try and get.
I feel like in a perfect world, the guy they'd want is Bottas because Bottas is the perfect second driver. But like obviously,
Pretty much, yeah.
Mercedes wouldn't allow that. Mercedes would give Bottas an offer just to keep him.
I think if Bottas was to leave, it'd have to be for like a number one driver because he must be earning more than like he'd get anywhere else. So he'd have to go for wins.
Yeah, I think like if he does leave, like you said, it would be for number one. Ferrari would probably pay more than Mercedes to be their number two, but it doesn't make any sense for him. Perez would also been a good guy for me. Like I think he's proved.
That's true. Actually, I forgot about Perez. You're right. He is good.
Perez actually
Mature, very mature. He's a racing brain.
But I don't think Perez would ever accept a number two role.
I don't think Sainz will either.
And he's quick.
I mean, I don't think Sainz will. I mean, think about what Sainz and Verstappen were like as teammates when they were Toro Rosso. Sainz coming from a number one role, so I don't expect that he'll just be willing to be number two.
I think it's going to be very interesting. I think we don't have a lot of races left on the calendar. This will be for next year. But I mean, I think the first few races will be very, very crucial, and to see how Sainz does. I think if Charles has like a lead going after like five races, they'll be like, cool, let's just chill, just assist Charles there. So I think if he can try and challenge, he might be a third. They might let them race, but I don't see it happening. I see them just saying, listen, please let Charles go. He's there as an assist, and maybe he can try sort of build himself up and change perception. But he's definitely going there as a number two, and I'm sure they had that conversation. Like, listen, Charles is the number one.
It kind of doesn't make sense for Sainz to go and be number two when he was a number one at McLaren, who were getting better, and like with the Mercedes engine coming to McLaren and the new rules coming not next year now, the year after, I think he had a better chance of winning with McLaren than being Ferrari number two, because even if Ferrari have the best car, they're not going to let him win.
Is it not sort of just the magic of being a Ferrari driver? especially like, I mean, he's always wanted to sort of do what Fernando's done. So he sort of wants to go and like be better than Fernando, like in Ferrari. Like I could do what he couldn't almost.
Well, that's a good point, Tyler. But I also think that there's something about Ferrari, no matter what state they're in. It's just there's something when Ferrari come knocking. I think it's very difficult. I don't know how many drivers have turned Ferrari down. Although I did read an article today that was David Coulthard admitted he turned down Ferrari in '96 because they basically told him he would be a second driver. So it's not that it never happens, but I think it's really difficult to turn down Ferrari.
Yeah, that not being a second driver worked out well for him at McLaren.
Yeah, it didn't work out. Because it was with Hakkinen and then it was with Raikkonen.
I mean, Raikkonen came into the team as the new guy, and he was the number one. It really didn't work out for Coulthard.
How do you not quit? How do you not quit? Howard quits.
I suppose he was Red Bull's number one driver for like a season or two with Webber when they were finishing 8th and 9th in the championship.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Webber was even second driver to an old David Coulthard retiring you all. That's sad. That's sad, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you're,
Okay, Daniel Ricciardo to McLaren. Your thoughts, Dallas?
I think Daniel wins here because even though Daniel's always said that he believes in Renault and they're going to get better because of the history, but I really don't think so. They will always be 5th, 6th. And McLaren have shown their improvements over one season, so definitely, I mean, McLaren are best of the rest, I believe. So I think Ricciardo's going to win here, and I honestly think he might even be faster than Lando, as much as we all love Lando. But, you know, just with his experience and whatnot, he can take McLaren to a new heights once we resume this season. Even better than last season when they were getting points every race. So I do believe Daniel Ricciardo wins in this whole ordeal.
second that.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Ricciardo wins. I don't think McLaren did the right thing in doing this because I think they're going to be spending a lot of money to have him, and I think that's sort of some of their budget or whatever. That's just, I don't know, it could be better spent. I think they did the same thing with Fernando. They paid the driver a ridiculous amount of money, and then didn't get the car, didn't spend it like where it needed to be. So yeah, I don't know. I think Danny Rick, he's a great driver and all, but I think it would have been in McLaren's best interest to keep Sainz and Lando. I definitely think that Ricciardo is going to absolutely destroy Lando. I don't think it's going to be a contest.
I think Ricciardo's
just better.
Level up on Sainz, but I think I agree with you. Keeping Sainz would have probably been the better move for what they'd save. And it's not like Sainz was a bad driver. I mean, he proved it last season. He's a great driver. But I think it was out of their hands because I think once Ferrari approached Sainz, it was up to Sainz whether he leaves.
Yeah, so McLaren can't do anything at all.
I think McLaren just had to replace Sainz. They didn't have a chance to really keep him.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. They have no choice in the matter, basically.
What's going to be really weird is that we still have a full season to run in this year with the drivers in their current teams, where Ricciardo's got to drive for Renault, Sainz at McLaren, and Vettel at Ferrari. I think it's going to make it really big, especially at Renault. Like Cyril doesn't seem like he's happy about this whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, he spoke a lot of trash when he poached Ricciardo from Red Bull. And he was like, Ricciardo's the future. We're building the team around him. One bad season and he's gone.
It's all backfiring on some teams now. Well, mostly Renault, I suppose.
Renault
they've got
the clear losers here.
Yeah, Renault are clear losers, straight.
Renault's just rubbish. He took the man who
who's the real loser out of all of this is Nico Hülkenberg. He's the real loser because he retired the season. If he had just stayed, as a sport, he's the loser, bro. He lost big.
Renault have an empty seat again, and like the man can't get it.
I heard a ridiculous story that Renault wants Alonso, and that Liberty Media is going to help foot the bill
I read this as well.
to have him. And I think that's just ridiculous, especially for like Liberty Media. Like if you're going to pay for a driver to be there, no, get some younger driver in, like from F2 or whatever.
F2.
And like if you've got money to burn to bring back someone into the sport, give it to like the teams that are struggling, like Williams that are struggling to like stay afloat through this whole pandemic thing. Don't be giving it to some rich ass driver.
Can I just say that I told my dad this last night, and he's like, I wish they wouldn't bring back these geriatrics into F1.
There we go. Oh, yeah.
Even my dad, he's like, they must move on.
Yeah, because also Alonso's there to win. Alonso's not here to race around in circles and stuff. He's there to win.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
He's not going to win with Renault. It's not in their future, man.
I mean, when he left, he said he'd only come back for a winning car, and clearly Renault are not going to be winning anything. So it doesn't make sense for him. And I agree with you. Like, if you're going to give the money to someone, give it to someone who needs it.
Exactly.
No, give the money to charity. Like, don't give Fernando Alonso the money.
Burn it. You can burn it if you want to. Just don't burn it.
Burn the cash. Can I just say, this is a little off topic, but who's actually going to win the season? I would love nothing more. I actually say Vettel. You know why? Because one, the pressure's off. He has nothing to lose. And two, Vettel's great at a short season. If the season is short, Vettel's great, and we have a short season. So I think
there's a good chance of that happening.
Vettel, bro.
Especially
I think he wins
second
the
half.
first championship, and he's like, bye, losers. I'm out.
Mic drop. Gone.
Cheers, Charles. Have fun.
No, he wins the championship
Love that.
and then still signs for Haas. And then Haas have
Yes.
car number one.
I'd love that.
It would be great, though, if Vettel wins. It would be a perfect way for him to have a send-off.
Yeah, it's a send-off, and he
Yeah.
absolutely, and it makes his reason for leaving, or whatever it is that he said, it makes his reasoning just. And I mean, then it won't be sad anymore, because he got that championship with Ferrari, whether it's a full season or not. So
Yeah, then
You know, Charles will feel Charles will be like, how?
he'll be out. He'll be out.
Charles
This
is
is
going to
his
be
year.
screwed, if that happens.
Imagine
I think
the celebration would be like at Ferrari if Seb wins. Would they even celebrate? Because the guy who's
it's a
leaving them-
catch-22. Exactly. I think Vettel wins out of that scenario. No one else wins.
I think
Ferrari
Vettel just
doesn't
goes
have-
home with the trophy and
they've lost
celebrates
their-
by himself.
Exactly. Ferrari doesn't win because they don't have the drive anymore. And then, like, as fans, we don't see the title being like contested again. I think it hurts when a driver wins and then just leaves. I think that's wrong.
Yeah.
It should be banned.
Yeah, it should be. You have to defend your title.
Banned. No, even if
That was
you're
such a
running
bad-
across the line.
our next topic could be now we could talk about potential drivers from F2. As how many spots are open? I think there's
Well,
just one.
first, Tyler touched on it in Renault. Who do you think Renault actually go for? Because I think they go to F2, and they have two drivers there at the moment, Christian Lundgaard and Guan Yu Zhou. I think they pick whoever does better this season in F2, and they can't make that decision now. So I think they're in a really bad situation.
Yeah, that's the problem, is because a lot of the teams have been like, "Oh, we picked this driver on past performances," but that's a terrible model. Like, especially like F2 and stuff. I don't know. I think it's bad. I think I watched something where Brundle was saying he thinks like they're going to go for an older driver, which I wouldn't fault them. Like, I want the younger drivers there because it's great to have youth on the grid, but also it's such a risk. I think it's such a risk.
Yeah, I think
Bring back
especially in
the
a
whole
season
team.
like this, where
Bring
you're
back
not
the
going to
whole
have a full F2 season. Like,
Well, you have to make a decision in the next few months, don't you?
and I think taking an F2 driver now is a gamble, and
It's a gamble.
I don't think they can afford to do that at the moment.
I think Janusz and I 2021 Renault.
Confirmed.
the Renault drive in 2021.
Now, Dallas is quicker than me on the game, so Dallas, it's your drive.
Yeah. Dallas Renault 2021.
Just
He
make
drives
the
a
PowerPoints
Renault
like
anyway.
George.
Right? He gets practice in his Renault Megane, so it's not much of a level up. Their car's
Oh,
not
there we
that.
go, man.
What?
He
Yeah.
drives a Renault Megane, right? And their F1 car is not that much faster. So he's
Well, it's
prepared.
a Clio, so but yeah.
No, yours is faster than the
I
F1.
think my car's faster than the F1 car, so
It's
I probably
lighter.
could drive it.
Probably not.
I could drive an F1 car.
I'm pretty sure
But-
you could have outqualified Kubica in your car.
Do any of you know who's the
Ooh.
reserve driver for Renault F1 team? They could just, it might, if it all goes south and they can't find anyone, they'll have to employ him as second driver. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not sure who their second driver is, their reserve driver is.
If the situation goes bad where they can't get a driver and they don't want to take an F2 driver, what's the only thing you can do is put your reserve driver in, as he's had some experience. He would have had some experience in the Renault cars. So it's
Or what they can do, just pull someone from esports. Oh, Atkins.
Yeah, that's who I thought was going to sort of go up is Jack Atkin. I mean, he's legit.
Yeah.
that's true.
maybe.
They could do that because listen, if they don't get a decent driver to replace Ricciardo, I mean, then they're gonna be the true losers here. So they have to find that replacement. I think they got to start looking soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they definitely lost out on this. Have not been doing well. It's just the actual Renault works team. No one else is actually driving a Renault engine, right? Just them.
Well, McLaren have Renault engines.
Well, not like for the next 8 races or whatever. But I mean,
Yeah.
after this year, that
Can
there's
I
just so
actually,
much issues.
we've spoken a lot about Renault. Can I actually speak about McLaren? Because I think the future's at McLaren.
Yeah,
McLaren, Mercedes
Yeah.
engines, Ricardo. I think I see championships.
They got one podium, and it was a lucky podium.
Yeah.
Well, I see championships.
championship it's over the horizon. But I mean, with that Mercedes engine and with their great car already, I do believe they might challenge with Red Bull, but not always. And they're not always going to be up there. But it's a huge step.
I think a championship's at least 2 or 3 years away at minimum.
Yeah, it will be about that at minimum. Yeah.
If they can get legit podiums, I think that'd be a step up for them. Even when they got the Renault engine and they weren't performing as well as sort of the Red Bull was in the year before. They had sort of the same engine. They weren't performing. It's not like they had this massive jump up. I don't think it's just engine.
Yeah.
Williams also runs a Mercedes engine. They're not doing fantastic. I think it's very much what the teams do with that. But definitely have the opportunity to do better. I think they should aim for being fourth and get a few podiums. I don't see them doing crazy things this year.
Yeah, I can't see them even winning a race this year. Next year, maybe with the Mercedes engine, but I still doubt it. The year after that, with the new regulations, that's where they have their chance to actually win.
You think they should just forsake this? Every team will forsake this season and next season.
As a McLaren fan,
develop for 2022.
I'm just all for cancelling 2020 altogether. Let's just go to 2021 and Daniel Ricciardo can drive a Mercedes-powered McLaren. So I don't even care about this year anymore.
No, I want to see my races. I wanted to have a full calendar. You do the tracks back and forward. Screw it, man. Go back to Australia. Start there. I have to see my races.
Well,
this is bad.
Yesterday or today, Silverstone confirmed that they will have 2 races. They haven't said what layouts and stuff. Austria also supposed to have 2 races. So hopefully we do get a decent amount of races in, starting in July.
Can I just say, Lewis Hamilton Lewis thinking to himself, I have 2 home Grand Prix in one season. He must be thinking this is what heroin free must feel like.
But there's no.
But he's not going to have the best fans. He's not going to have the best fans.
Yeah, it's I've got 2 home Grand Prix. This is what heroin
so
feels
empty.
like.
It's just going to be like the Mercedes people cheering for him. There's going to be no fans making noise.
Yeah.
Will Lewis be good without fans? That's the question, man. The question.
We have the best seats. That's it. Not fans, just the best seats.
Yeah.
I actually read an interesting article about how the remaining races, a lot of them suit Valtteri, and he could actually have a good chance this season because you've got tracks you've still got Russia where he's good, Suzuka where he's won, And like they said, a lot of the remaining tracks are tracks that he's good at. And you've got a
It'll be
short
his only chance. Yeah, it'll be his only chance, I think.
I think this is going to be the most cutthroat championship ever, because you're going to have like Bottas going, cool, no team orders, going flat out. Max is also good towards and Red Bull are sort of good towards the tail end. So, I mean, it could be crazy. Like,
yeah.
I think it's going to be absolutely amazing.
And I think with it being short,
hopefully they've been working on their cars during this period. Like,
yeah, you find
going mad.
I find that they've been working on their cars so much. Williams turned up quick, and then you find George Russell didn't need the Mercedes drive to win the championship. I think what's so cool about this driver market and this season now is we've already still got so much that could happen, because I expect that Grosjean loses his drive and Kimi still retires.
So that means Alpha will also have a spot open.
So you've still got that, and there's the fact that Bottas has a 1-year rolling contract.
I read Kimi's going to stay another year. I just see him. I think he has too much fun. Like I think he likes driving too much to let it go. And I think Saab was just like, cool, keep going. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see Kimi leading. But yeah, Grosjean, I don't know, man. He's got this ability to stay in F1 like no one else.
I see badly, but staying in.
I see Haas leaving the sport like after 2021. I see that.
Whoa.
I see Grosjean leaving F1 when the sport leaves. I mean, not when sport leaves, when Haas leaves.
On Haas.
Yeah, because they can't beat. I mean, Gene Haas has said they want results. They're not getting it.
They've literally gotten worse each season. Like to start off with, they were good and they were like competing in the midfield. And they've just gotten worse season by season. Grosjean. Honestly, I don't know how he kept his drive for this year. That to me, that's a mystery. Like after last season, I think he had to go.
After every season, the man has a skill. The man, he's got more skill keeping his drive than driving.
Yes, that's true.
Maybe what happens is he helps the catering people, right? And he cooks for them because he's got a cookbook and stuff. So that's his real skill. He's not an F1.
He's got to have dirt. He's got to have dirt on Steiner. He's got to. Like, you can't find me.
Sure, I think it's true. Grosjean, I don't see him keeping his drive. He also has to go. I think we all agree he shouldn't stand up. There's way better potential drivers in F2 who can replace Grosjean. I think we can all agree.
Mick Schumacher.
To Haas? No way.
No, go to Alpha first.
Mick
He'll
to
replace
Alpha,
I'm saying Alpha.
I think if Kimi goes,
Alpha.
Mick gets that drive.
Yeah.
For sure.
2 years at Alpha, then go to Ferrari.
Then Giovinazzi goes to Haas.
No, I don't.
So hypothetically, step-
No, because if Kimi's going, they won't want 2 new drivers. So they won't.
Yeah.
And Ferrari don't have that much pull at Haas where they can like just put their drivers in there. It's just an engine supplier relationship.
Yeah, it's not a junior team.
I think if Ferrari go, listen, this will be the next world champion, or like contender, Haas go, cool, put him in our seat, better than Grosjean.
So matter of fact.
Grosjean.
I was so grateful for Grosjean.
Poor Grosjean.
Better than Grosjean.
Listen, man, when he was at Lotus with Kimi,
Yeah.
he was good. He was like legit good. I think he's lost all confidence.
Yeah,
And the way he gets treated, I think he gets treated so badly at Haas. I think like watching Drive to Survive, Steiner is just a terrible, terrible boss. Cannot motivate whatsoever. I think Grosjean must go to sleep crying every night. Like, I feel for the man.
It's like really sad because I really like Grosjean. And I wish he would do well.
Absolutely.
His time of doing well has come to an end, obviously, since Lotus.
And then,
But can I ask, Mick Schumacher, I would be worried if I was Mick Schumacher because Ferrari will take him, but they have Charles. So how is he going to win? Because him and Charles in the same team, that won't work. So actually, if I was Mick Schumacher, we think, how will I ever win the world championship? Unless Charles stuffs it up completely, and then they bring Mick in.
I think Mick Schumacher's first problem is he has to beat Schwartzman to the seats because Schwartzman's coming off winning F3 too. So they're both supposed to be in F2 this year, and they're teammates. So I think that's his first problem.
Yeah, I think That's the problem with his surname, man. I mean, I think that's what'll get him into F1. But he's just got such high expectations.
So look, we
actually
never know,
compete
but he
with.
might improve and become a great driver because he has still a lot of room for improvement. We just never know what the future holds for Mick. He might become as good as his dad. We never know. Only time will tell with Mick. That's one thing we don't know for sure. Is will Mick be good in F1?
But you know, Ferrari's decision making is at a point where they will hire a driver because of the surname. I'm not worried about will you make it into F1 now, because Ferrari are that team. You will say, look at this man's surname. Let's put him in F1 somehow. So I don't think he has that to worry about. But winning, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's his difficulty.
Yeah, I think Ferrari make business decisions, so they'll sign the guy who's going to sell the shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
And the name will sell for them.
Ferrari has to be desperate for wins, man. Ferrari has to be. Like, come on. It's been so long.
Yeah, you know, my team that's been suffering, hasn't won since 2012, is still going through the same length of a drought as Ferrari. The last time
I've been saying next year. I've been saying next year for way too long. Yeah, Ferrari have had less of a fall from grace than McLaren.
Yeah, you guys score podiums every season.
Yeah, at least Ferrari fought, bro.
Yeah, you guys have scored a podium every season.
It's inexcusable. It's inexcusable. But
and then just one final thing I want to touch on is: do you think Bottas keeps his drive, or do they go for George Russell?
For which season?
Oh,
next season.
For next season.
2020.
No, 2021.
2020
does feel like it's next season, though.
It really does. It really does.
I'm leaning towards putting Russell in place of Bottas, to be honest.
But it all comes down to Lewis. And because of Lewis, like, Bottas can't get fired.
Yeah, I think
even if Bottas has the season of his life, Lewis knows, man, this guy. Man, you even want him to have the season of his life because you'll just know it's fine.
Again, it's a question that can only be answered once we go through the gears of the season. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, but has Russell actually showed anything in F1? Like, I mean, he hasn't had the opportunity, but as Mercedes, I wouldn't risk it. I'd keep my wingman there.
I think you just go the safe bet that keep Bottas and until Russell gets a better chance to prove himself.
Will he? That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, will Williams improve enough for him to really show his quality?
Even if Williams don't improve enough, what midfield team does he go to? Because I don't think that, like, besides Williams, Racing Point, who are now their Mercedes like midfield team, they're going a completely different direction. So where does he go? Does he just stuck at Williams until he gets a shot?
Something I've been thinking, right, is old Daddy Stroll. He's a businessman, right? And he's gonna buy, like, the rumors are that he's gonna buy Aston Martin. It's gonna be Aston Martin racing team, right? At some point, if the team gets much better, he's not gonna back his son. He's gonna be like, "Oh, you had a nice run, but I want someone who can actually win championships."
Can you imagine sitting your son down and be like, "Listen, you suck." It's not gonna happen.
No, it'll be like, you had fun. Now it's time, to actually win.
Can I just say, Lance? That Lawrence Stroll buys F1 teams as if they're chappies. I mean, honestly, like, he buys those teams like they're chappies.
Chappies aside, I think that's a really interesting theory, Tyler. I think it's a good point for us to end with today. It leaves us slightly open-ended and with room to expand in a future podcast or possibly article on Vettel's future options if he wasn't to retire. So thank you to my guest today, and thank you to everyone who listened. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we will be doing more of these as lockdown continues, so just keep it